Now, for the past 30 years, my first guest has played a fascinating variety of greasy cads, dubious charmers, and lovable toffs. You saw him earlier tonight on BBC One in Murderous Mood, doing terrible things to that nice Patsy Kensit. And weekly, he's on Man-Child on BBC Two, exploring the joys of growing older, but not necessarily wiser. Anyway, welcome, please, Nigel Havers. Welcome. Man-Child, this new series is very popular, isn't it? I mean, I suppose it's that theme that worries us all those chaps, those people getting older.
I tell you, I'm terrified.
Are you?
Yeah, I have to be honest and say I'm in denial. Total denial. By the way, it's a tough job, isn't it? There I am being massaged by this pretty girl.
I know.
And you know something, when you're doing a scene like that, I'm so worried about forgetting the lines. You don't know what's really going on. She should be doing anything to me. I wouldn't really know. but no, Man-Child is, and it's different from me in a way. I'm playing a sort of groovy 50-year-old.
Why is that different from you?
I just think, my mum rang and said, I think the show's all right, but you will be doing some real stuff soon, won't you? I don't quite know what that means, but...
No, I mean, it's something you can tap into. You're of the age, and it's a sort of concern to people who do grow older. I mean, do you like growing older, or do
no.
you're in denial, as you said?
I am in denial.
I mean, at what age have you stopped growing older? Where are you now, do you think?
I'm just 37.
37?
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you think that will last, or do you think that one day you might wake up and say, I am actually 55?
No, I've got 10 years at 37, and then 10 more at 38. And then I'll hit 40, there'll be a big party. I'll be on the Zimmer frame.
And what about the theme that's explored, which is about, you know, what you can do to arrest or enhance growing older? Plastic surgery, would you consider that?
Totally.
Would you?
Yes. In any part of my body, actually.
Absolutely any part of it all. Because in the play, again in the series, there's a wonderfully funny sequence where a man goes for a penile implant.
Yes.
Would that be something you'd consider?
Totally.
It would be.
Even if it was painful.
Do you have any preference of the kind you might like? Apparently they have plain rods, or they have little pumps, things and fitted in, or hydraulic jack sort of affairs, apparently. I only know this because I've done a bit of reading about the matter.
I'd have a look at the catalogue, obviously.
Of course you would.
And then I'd choose the one that I thought suited me and gave the best results. Your Honour.
Your Honour. All right. Well, it's doing nicely. Let's go back on your career now, because I mean, acting was not in your family as such, was it? Your father was Lord Havers, who was the Lord Chancellor before that, Attorney General.
Yes. In
Maggie Thatcher's government. Your brother followed your father into the law. Your father was a barrister. Was the pressure on you to do exactly the same?
There wasn't at all, which was interesting, because my father had lots of friends that were actors. He was in the Navy and served on a ship with Kenneth More, and they became great friends. So he thought that actors were okay. And so when I announced... And in fact, that's one of the reasons I became an actor, because at 5 or 6, I was taken to the theatre and the cinema all the time, and I would put it down to the fact that my parents couldn't probably afford a babysitter or something like that. But we were taken to the cinema, you know, and even if it was, you know, a film that I wasn't supposed to go because I was too young, my father sort of hid me behind his back, and I somehow got in. So I saw theatre, a lot of theatre actually, and I was hooked on it. So I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I was about 6, and there was just no question of it. And my father encouraged it, and I remember him saying, he'd make me say it in front of other people, and what do you want to do? And I'd say, I want to be an actor. And he thought it was very funny, actually. But I really did want to do it. And
yes.
I think you have to be
that's interesting,
totally and utterly convinced that you can make it.
Yes. But they wanted you to go to Eton to follow the family tradition. You didn't go there,
No, no, I couldn't bear the thought of that. And all the people, and there was a thing called fagging, and I thought, oh, this sounds frightful. And you know, there was nothing at all amusing about being there, I didn't think.
No.
You know, in any shape or form.
You went to drama school instead?
Yeah, I did, and I had a great time, actually. There were 400 girls and about 35 blokes, and I tell you, it was fantastic.
You made the right choice.
Just looking back, it was just, I sort of had a flash of it right then.
Meeting these actors like Kenneth More and people like that who were friends with your father, I mean, did you learn anything from them at all? Did they talk to you? Did they tell you about how, when you were growing up, give you advice?
No, they totally ignored me, actually.
Did they?
Yes, because they don't really like children, you know. A lot of grown-ups don't hate children, and I sort of get that.
What about this business that also follows you wherever, as a description, wherever you go, this thing about being the charming, the tough? Charming, first of all. I mean, charming is a carapace, isn't it? Charming is a disguise, isn't it?
It is, actually.
I mean, what do you like, really?
I'm a completely charmless bugger, really. No, I don't really know. I'm just normal bloke, you know. I get pissed off about all sorts of things, so it doesn't make a difference.
You have a rant, don't you, occasionally?
Yeah, I do.
I know you well.
Yes, I do have a rant,
You go off on...
I can.
Like a firework, don't you?
I can, yeah.
Things upset you.
Yes. I had a crack at a traffic warden today, actually.
Did you?
He hadn't given me a ticket. I just had a crack at him.
No, quite right.
Because I really hate them, you know. I said, and for you, mate, you know. You're ruining London. You know, I really went for him.
And he said, I thought he was a charming geezer.
He said, you're supposed to be the charming one.
That's interesting to know. It's nice to know as well,
yeah.
actually, yeah. But the toff, I mean, do you think that, in fact, you might have had a different career had you not been blessed with this sort of accent, this reputation?
Well, there is a point in that. But the thing is that when I first started, you know, you had to be a toff. There were lots of parts for cavalry officers and things, so it was okay. Things have changed now. I mean, but I think, in a way, there are parts for everybody. I mean, you know, I don't think it really matters the way you talk. And, you know, when I worked with Michael Caine, I played his son in a movie called The Whistleblower years ago. Yeah. Michael Caine said, I had lunch with him before. Michael Caine said to me, are you going to talk like me, or have I got to posh up? and I said, I can't possibly talk like you, Michael. And you know him well, don't you?
I do.
So he said, well, all right, I'll posh up then. So on the first day of filming, the first day, on the first line, he said to me, hello, son. And that was him poshing up. It seemed to work fine.
Tell me the advice that Kenneth More gave you about being charming.
Well, he did say that being charming was you could pull any girl if you were charming. That was really the bottom line of this.
Yes.
So to go out with a nice girl, yes, you had to charm them. And he's absolutely right. And
he said, actually, if I read the quote right, he said that if you're charming, you don't have to ask them to go to bed, they ask you.
That's absolutely right.
What he said.
That's exactly what he said. I wasn't going to say that, but
no,
I'm glad you did. So that's fine.
And I just wanted to ask you if you'd found that to be true.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Years ago,
a long time ago, yes.